Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Battlefield 2042 video. So the beta launched over on all platforms the other day, and I've put in a very high amount of playtime in this game already. And I gotta say, overall, this game is just incredible. There's a lot of there's a lot of issues with the game, with stability and performance and other things of that nature. But overall, it is just super, super fun. I know there's been a lot of talk about things people do and don't like about the game, but overall, I'm just going to kind of go over a couple things that I think are done really, really well, and things can be improved a little bit. But first, let's just talk about the map. Overall, this map is really, really good. I like it. I can see why people are not happy about the size of it, but I think with Portal that'll help a lot because you can change the size of like the play area of maps as well. From my knowledge, I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm pretty sure you can change the size of your play area that you want to play in. But I feel like if you cut the map into two and just play two separate different maps, it'll probably work really, really well for what people want. But overall, I think the map as a whole is really, really good. I think the size isn't an issue personally. I think it's pretty well balanced, and you have a lot of different experiences with the map being this big. So you can play two different types of play styles. You can play in like basically two different maps at the same time, um, which I think just adds to it. I have played a ridiculous amount of this beta, and I haven't gotten bored of Orbital at all. And if I can still think it's fun after all I've played, that's probably a good sign of map design, seeming as I get tired of maps very, very quickly. For instance, with Call of Duty, when I used to play that more, a new map would come out, I'd play it once or twice, and I could be like just completely done with it there and never touch it again. That was a very, very common thing to happen, actually. I would get very, very tired of maps very, very quickly. So if map design is done well, I can enjoy it for a lot longer. The gunplay, I really like it. I like that there's a recoil and that the different calibers, if you change what caliber your weapon is, that also affects your recoil quite substantially. Um, Generally, I had to run grips on just about every single weapon. Otherwise, recoil just became ridiculous, and I couldn't really do anything about it, especially at ranges when it becomes an issue. But overall, yeah, I think recoil is really, really well done. I can see them just tweaking gunplay a little bit to kind of refine it a little bit, but I think it's really, really good. I think the overall design philosophy is there. In Battlefield 5, I felt like recoil just wasn't existent whatsoever, and then Battlefield 1, it was like pretty good. And I feel like this is pretty close to what Battlefield 1's was. I haven't played Battlefield 1 in a few weeks, but just from my memory, it seems pretty similar. So if you play this beta, you probably know there's a grappling hook already in it. That's very, very fun. It's not a Titanfall grappling hook. I don't think any game will ever have a Titanfall grappling hook, just because of how ridiculous Titanfall's was, and like that, even Apex nerfed the grappling hook in that game. But this is a really fun one. This isn't to move around the map quickly. This isn't to fucking be Spider-Man, but you can get to a lot of good vantage points with it, and then traversing a lot better. Most of the time, I'll just use a grappling hook instead of stairs, for example, to get to the top of the rocket tower compared to using the big flights of stairs or the elevator or the zip line. I'll just grapple my way up there instead. But there's a lot of cool vantage points you can get to with it, and the fact that you can swing with it and launch yourself a little bit is pretty good. I definitely use it pretty well. I think it's a really great addition. I feel like it's probably going to be a very clutch one people are going to use compared to everything else, so I can see that being possibly an issue. But the fact that people can run medikits and everything it'll help mitigate all the issues with not having like support roles, hopefully. Speaking of support roles and everything, I know there is a little bit of discourse on whether it's a good idea to have the specialist system or to completely remove this support role system that was in place before. I can see both sides of this fence, and I do agree with both sides. I think the specialist system is very fun, but it definitely is more catered towards solo play compared to squad play, which kind of rips that out of the Battlefield's identity as the whole squad play element of it. But at the same time, as a solo player, it's very, very useful for me because I don't have to worry about, oh, my teammate won't put down ammo or whatever, and I'm not locked to using a sniper with a recon. But at the same time, I can also see with not having that, it does kind of, it feels very weird and not as good. But Hopefully in Portal, you'll be able to change whether if you want the locked-in role support or if you want the specialist system. So I guess we'll have to see it until Portal's out, but hopefully there's going to be a good mix. So people who like the support roles more will have those support roles that you're locked into, and people who like the specialist system can still play servers with the specialist system in place. But it'll just, time will tell depending on how that's done and everything. But overall, I think it's a cool change, but I can understand why people are upset with it. Speaking of Portal and the overall gameplay element of this, I think with Portal and Hazard Zone, this game just seems like it'll have endless amounts of content. There is just so much potential for things to be done in this game, which is just incredible. The sandbox is really, really fun and engaging. The overall aesthetic is really fun. It's not taking itself too seriously. The time period isn't holding it back in any sort of way, and it feels a lot more of that arcadey fun that the old Battlefield games used to have, which I really, really like. The rocket going off, the tornadoes, all this other stuff is just really, really fun and engaging in different ways to make the game feel more and more alive and fun and just chaotic fun. So I think there's just going to be a ton of potential for this game to succeed in so many different aspects, especially with DLC later on down the line. If you like the nostalgia maps, you can go play those. Any new maps that get brought in are going to be really fun to play on as well. Any new weapons will be fun. It just seems like a lot of great things are set in place already with this game. Obviously, performance does need to be way better for this game. Battlefield is generally known for how well it performs and how well you can run it on older systems, and this game is just such a weird deviation in that. So hopefully they can figure out performance issues by launch and get that pretty well sorted, because it is such a shame that a lot of people aren't able to play this game optimally, as where I'm running at like 70 to 90 FPS, anywhere between that range, which is a kind of big jump, depending on what's going on, direction I'm looking in. And I do have a semi-powerful computer, so that isn't too bad, but overall, like, when I'm looking at Battlefield 1 or 5, and I'm getting 130 plus FPS generally, that is a pretty big deviation. I understand the map is bigger, there's more stuff going on, there's tornadoes, there's more players, all this other stuff, but yeah, that's just some of my overall impressions of Battlefield so far. What do you guys think of the game? Like I said, I've been really enjoying it. I can't wait for the full launch of this game with more maps, more weapons, just everything ready to go. I'm excited to see what Hazard Zone has to offer and all the creativity stuff with Portal. I am definitely creating a server where it is just medic pistols, so that just sounds like a terrible time for everyone involved. Yeah, let me know what you guys thought of Battlefield if you played it. Anyway, I hope you guys all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys next video. It'll probably be, again, Battlefield related. So, hope you guys all enjoy, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care, everybody. Peace.